What is up, guys? Welcome to Western Sportsman. I'm Jonathan Catani, and welcome to episode number 3 of Tailgate Tuesday. That's right, we are cruising right along. Season's getting that much closer. Every Tuesday brings us that much closer, and I am loving it. Now, let's just call a spade and say the whole Tailgate Tuesday idea is really just a formality because for the second week in a row, I'm not on a tailgate. So, story behind this week is earlier today I went and looked at a potential duck hunting boat. I'm in the market for a boat. We have a ton of water around here with the Great Salt Lake feeding into all kinds of public areas that are definitely accessible by foot. I've been doing foot for the last probably 6 or 7 years and finally to the point where I can afford a boat. So that's going to be my newest purchase. Look for that on one of these episodes once I finally find one I'm ready to settle on. But tonight brings us to the story of someone very near and dear to my heart. He goes by the name of Jameson. You guys have seen him in previous episodes. He's my amazing black lab. 85 pounds, 4 years old. And he is just a big bundle of love, as I'm sure you guys' labs are as well. And just like me, he loves to duck hunt. So I figured what better story to tell than the story of Jameson. So let's set it up. Let's go all the way back to 2012. I was just a 22-year-old college kid who wasn't making the most excellent decisions in his life, but one thing has always been a constant, and that has been duck hunting. So one time I'm out by myself in the marsh, duck hunting. It was just a pretty average day, nothing too crazy. And out in the public, as I'm sure you guys know, a lot of pass shooting. So birds come in a little high, not crazy, probably about 40 yards off to my left. Pull up, shoot, one goes down. And I saw right where he went down. It wasn't super thick where he went down, so I started running after him. Just so that he didn't have time to swim away with, any sort of life he had left in him. And as I'm running in my waders, my left boot gets stuck in the mud and my foot comes up to where my knee's supposed to be. And in stride I step and wham, down I go right into the water. Now, luckily it was pretty early season, so it wasn't too cold. But it was about 6 inches of water, so as you can imagine, it wasn't great. So, long story short, I actually did find the duck, so that is one good thing. But what I did do after that is I called my significant other at the time and said, get on KSL, which is our local sort of news / classified internet site where people sell all kinds of things. Much like Craigslist, but a little bit more chill and more local. Anyways, so called her up, said, get online, find me a hunting dog. Well, within about 2 weeks, we were able to locate a breeder who was right in our price range and found him. They had one male left, black lab. And as soon as we got there, he came right up to us. I mean, right up. Wasn't shy at all. The breeder had a couple kids. The kids were kind of, being a little rough with them, and he didn't mind at all, and I knew that was the one for me. So, brought him home, and I knew right away I was going to name him Jameson. Kind of a funny story. One time I was with my friends, drinking Jameson, the whiskey, and I looked at the bottle and I was like, man, that'd be a really cool name for a dog. So, at the time, I had no idea that a dog was in my near future, but I did have a dog name picked out. So as soon as I got him, I knew right away what his name was going to be. Brought him home to my apartment, and within about 10 minutes, he had already taken a dump right on the carpet. So that was super neat, and a very good intro into what it was like to have a dog. Now, I'm sure for all you dog owners out there, you can relate. There's nothing better. I mean, the loyalty, the love, it's just unmatched. And since day one, Jamo has been my very best friend. And now he's my favorite hunting partner, and I couldn't imagine hunting without him. So, a little bit of the story of his training. I had no idea how to train a hunting dog, and there was no way I could afford professional help. So, with the power of the internet, got online and just started doing a ton of research. And from there, I've just been training him all by myself, which is where a lot of the drills that you guys will kind of see over the summer, did one last week, that's where those came from. Just doing my own research, seeing what the pros do, and just applying it to my own dog. The thing about training is it's not hard. I wouldn't say it's hard. I would say it's time consuming. So where you're really spending your money on these professional trainers is the time, right? Because that's what they do. So you give them the money, they put the time into your dog. Well, lucky for me, I was in college. So whether I actually had the time or not, I made the time, and I was super disciplined. I mean, when he was a puppy, everywhere we went, took him all over. We'd go to the store, we'd go out with friends. Didn't matter where I was, I always brought him because I wanted to socialize him. I wanted to be able to handle any situation, and that led into all of the time spent training. Now, when he was first a puppy, it was super easy, just about 20 minutes a day, and we kind of worked ourselves up and got to the point where when he was about a year old, I was taking him out to the marsh and just kind of getting him acclimated. Now, when I first got him, we were super intense with his training. I was extremely disciplined, but I was also very young. So unfortunately, life started to happen. So we got to the point where he was extremely disciplined in his drills, and he could run pretty much any drill you can think of just perfectly. What ended up happening is I wasn't able to always go duck hunting. So, as I'm sure may have happened to some of you guys, what ends up happening is they're good at drills, but they can't really extrapolate that onto duck hunting because they're dogs and they don't really have that same, cognitive reasoning that we have as humans, where we can take certain concepts and apply them to any genre really. So he wasn't getting the hunting experience that he wanted, and then unfortunately had some things happen where we actually didn't even hunt for a whole season. He got a little bit overweight, got out of shape. So last season was our first full season of actually hunting, which was an incredible experience. We got to hunt on a lot of private land, which, as you guys know, is really just the most ideal. Obviously did a lot of public hunting as well, just because, I don't really, use public as an excuse. I'll go out on the public just as much as I go private. And it was great for him. He got a ton of experience, finally actually figured out what the heck was going on and what he was supposed to do. Unfortunately, he did develop some elbow dysplasia, which I talked about last week, which is kind of what we're nursing right now. Got him on a supplement. The vet says it's really just like a sore knee, and the supplement just really keeps the swelling down. He doesn't limp. What happened was I was out of town for a while, and the problem with that supplement is if he's not on it, then his knee starts to swell up, and unfortunately, he wasn't taking it while I was gone. Now he's back on it. Now he's good, back to full strength. You guys probably noticed he wasn't going 100% in those drills. Part of that of his knee is his knee, and a part of that is the fact that he just does not like drills. I used to think there was something kind of wrong, but then when you go duck hunting with him, you realize there's absolutely nothing wrong. He is dialed right in. So we just kind of use the drills to keep him in shape, kind of keep him in tune, make sure he doesn't forget any of the basics. And when we get out hunting, it is night and day difference. He is like a bat out of hell when those ducks come in. And there's nothing better than watching your dog work, especially when you're the one who trained him. So, to wrap things up, that's the story of Jamo. Was a young kid. Probably wasn't the smartest decision to get a dog at that age, but I've never regretted it. He's really my best friend. He's always been there for me. And as you guys know, the loyalty of a dog is unmatched. So anyways, that's the story. Look forward to hearing from you guys. Let me know if there's any drills or anything you guys want to see or any tips you guys might have. Like I said, I'm not a professional trainer, so I'm always looking for, any tips and tricks you guys might have that have worked for you at home, or if you're a professional trainer, anything you think, might be helpful tip to apply to his training. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and can't wait to see you guys again. Thanks.